Hey guys, what's going on? It's your coach G Dinero coming to you live on Friday evening, January the 10th, giving you a quick update on MicroStrategy's ATM. What the heck is an ATM? What does that mean? I'm going to break it down for you short and sweet because I'm here to help you increase your financial literacy at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and start to dig in here. Just remember, if you like what you see, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you like best, what you learned, and what you'd like to see in future learnings. That's another thing that I forget to ask for oftentimes. Had somebody today send me a great topic for a future video, so always open to that. You can check out my website at G Dinero Coaching, where you can book a class with me. You're going to see some changes to the classes coming up like I alluded to before. And remember, all of this is for your education so that you can learn. I'm not here to give advice. I'm here to teach you and increase your financial literacy at the end of the day. So with no further ado, let's dig in and start talking about MicroStrategy's ATM. What do I mean by ATM? I'm not talking about an automated teller machine at your bank. I'm talking about an at-the-money. It's called an at-the-money stock offering. It allows MicroStrategy to sell shares of stock at the current going rate. So if the current going rate is $350 a share, they're selling at $350. If it's $400, they're selling at $400. And if it's $300, they're selling at $300. That's exactly what it means. And because MicroStrategy has such a huge trading volume every single day, these shares are typically easily absorbed into the market. It does put selling pressure on the shares. You will see the price drop, and I'm going to show you that in an example here. But those shares are typically absorbed, and at that point, they see selling. Let the shares get absorbed into the market, and you'll see where the net volume then changes positive. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. What does MicroStrategy use the money for? They use the money from the sale of these shares to buy more Bitcoin. Plain and simple. MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin holding company at the end of the day. Yes, they're a software company. Yes, they kick off a little bit of revenue from the software side of the business, but their biggest revenue comes from the Bitcoin yield that they're able to deliver on their balance sheet. So that Bitcoin finds its way onto the balance sheet. It increases the number of shares of Bitcoin, or excuse me, the number of Bitcoin per share of stock. Right now, that's currently about 182,000 sats per Bitcoin per share. So of Bitcoin per share. So about 0.00182 Bitcoin with every share of MicroStrategy that you own. So how do you know when they're doing the ATM? Simple. You can look at the net volume indicator. It's the indicator that I've put on at the bottom of the screen here. I know you don't see where it tells you what the indicator is. I didn't want the writing to cover up the look of it, but it's at the very bottom of the screen. You'll see where it says, where there's 3 red circles. That's the first hour of trading each day for the last 3 days. So on the 7th, 8th, 9th, and today the 10th. Sorry, the 7th, 8th, and the 10th. Yesterday was closed in observance of Jimmy Carter's funeral. So on the 7th, 8th, and 10th, you'll notice 3 red circles. You'll notice violent spikes to the negative where they sold a ton of shares of stock into the market. That's also evident on the SVP. That's another indicator that you'll see down the left-hand side up in the main area of the chart. And the SVP, what is that? That's session volume profile. You see a lot of yellow on there. You also can see that the price dropped. It dropped starting off on the 7th. It was as high as 375, 376. It dropped and ended that day somewhere in the neighborhood of 345. It dropped and ended that day somewhere in the neighborhood of 336. Today it got as high as looks like almost 342, 343, and then did what? Dropped immediately after the open and stabilized right around 330. So you see that violent drop down in the net volume indicator. It pops back up and even turns to the upside and then starts to look a little bit more like an EKG. Instead of only going down, it starts to go up and down, but you'll notice the spikes shrink. That's after the market has absorbed those shares, and the rest is just a normal supply and demand, we'll say, of shares. But that spike to the downside is what we're looking at. you can actually quantify that. And in some cases, it's 300, 400,000 shares of negative volume within an hour. That leads me to believe that the selling pressure overwhelmed the buyers. So there was probably an additional anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 shares issued into the market. Those shares, the money derived from those shares is going to be used to buy Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin and when will they buy it? It's typically bought right away and announced every Monday. Michael Saylor puts up his bat signal, as James calls it, on every Sunday. So Sunday, look for him to say there needs to be another green dot on his little tracker of where their buys take place. And then on Monday morning, it's typically announced. My estimate for this Monday's is somewhere between 1,000 and 2,500. I think it's going to be closer to the top end of that range than the bottom end. We'll see if I'm right. I am not a predictor. I'm not telling you to go out and buy MicroStrategy or to go out and tell you to buy Bitcoin. I'm just simply telling you what I see from the chart. So I hope you found this useful today. Again, check out my website. You can book a class with me. You can find there's some free content on there. You're going to see that growing. There's paid content if you'd like to really dig in and learn TradingView, learn the invest answers, indicators, learn technical analysis, learn how to trade options. I teach on that on a regular basis. You can like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this here on YouTube. And with no further ado, I want to thank everybody for joining today. Hopefully, I've helped to increase your financial literacy, which ultimately is going to lead to greater freedom for you and your family. Take care, and we'll see you soon.